Hello friends, welcome. Today in this video, I will show you how we can do error handling in Beego Framework. Friends, first of all, let me tell you the things that I am going to cover in this video. First of all, I will show you how we can throw an error in Beego Framework. After that, I will also show you how we can define our own custom error page. So let us start. Friends, here I have already created an application, my app, and now it is ready to run this. So let me run the command to run this application, run. When we run this command, we can see that HTTP server running on this port. Friends, if you don't know how to create this application, then you can watch my first video of this Beego Framework video series. I will put the link in the description. Now we can check it in the browser. When we hit this link in the browser, we can see this type of interface. It means our application is running successfully. Now let us again go to VS Code. Here, first of all, I will show you how we can throw an error in Beego Framework. For that, first of all, we have to define a controller method. So here we will define a controller method. Here we should put this G in the uppercase so that this method will be exported. Now let me name the template Now we have to define a router. So in this router.go file, simply type beego.router. Here you have to define the path. Then you have to define the method and then method name. So method name is get home. After that, you have to define a template. So file name of the template will be home.tpl. In this home.tpl, simply put this is home page. Now our application is again started on this port. This we don't have to do manually. Beego do it itself. So now let us go to browser and check. In the browser, when we hit this URL, you can see this type of message which we had defined in this home.tpl. Now let us see how we can throw an error in Beego Framework. So for that, let us go to default.go. Here you have to simply type c.abort. This abort method is used to throw an. So in the argument of this abort method, you can put error code. So here I am putting the error code as 404, which is the error code for page not found. When we call this abort method, execution will stop and this will not be executed. This line will not be executed. So let us again try to hit this URL When we hit this URL, we can see this type of message. So this is the very basic way how we can throw an error. Now we can define our own error page. So for that we have basically two methods. The first one, we can register individual method, and other way in which we can do that, we can define a controller in which we can define different methods and we register all of them simultaneously. So let us see one by one. First of all, let us see how we can register individual error handling page. For that, here we have to define a function page not found. We can take any name here. Here I am taking name as page not found. Then here you have to put the file name of the custom error handling page. So here I'm taking the name as LaTeX 404.ppl. Here first of all we have to handle the error. So if error is not equal to nil, we return. Otherwise, let us create a map Now in the main function, we have to register it. For that, we have to call this error handler. Then the code of error for which we are defining this method. Then the name of the method, which is page not found. After that, then in this views directory, we can define the custom error handler page, that is 404.tpl. Here you can put the messages according to your need. Here we have to pass this variable, so error message. Now let us again go to browser. So friends, in the browser, when we hit this URL, we can see this type of message. But because we have already defined the router and controller for this, but if we hit some other URL, like if you simply put S after this, then it will show this type of message. Here we are not able to see the message that we have defined for this 404 error. So for that we have to check again that where we are doing mistake. So let us again go to VS Code. Here in the VS Code, in main.go method, we can see that we have put the wrong logic, like if error is null, then we will return. But this is not the right way to handle the error. Here we have to put it as not equal to. Now let us again go to the browser and refresh this page. When we refresh this page, we can see this type of message, which is our custom defined message. This is 404 handler page, and then message sorry page not found. The first line is same as this line, and the second line basically coming from this main function main.go file, sorry page not found. Here you can put this file name as tpl also. Here you have to also rename it. Now again, let us refresh this page and you can see the same error message. One more way that you can throw this error message is simply go to VS Code and here in the default.go, you have to call the abort method. So when we don't call the abort method, so in that case, when we hit this URL, we can see this type of page. But when we call the abort method, with this error code, then in that case, we will see this type of message. So this is one way in which we can register our own custom error handler page. Now, there is one more way in which we can register our own custom handler page. For that, we have to go to this default.go file, and here we will define the custom error handler page for different error code. Here you have to define a function before testing it. Let us remove this method, and here we have to do a small change. Instead of calling this error handler function, we have to call error controller function. And here we have to define the controller name. So now here it is showing some error that net/http imported but not used. So we have to remove this, and we have to remove this also. Let's remove stress. Here our application has again started. Now let us go to browser and refresh this page. And here you can see that this is 404 handler page, and message sorry page is not found. So this is another way in which we can register our custom error handler page. Here you can notice one thing, that we have named this function as error 404. Here, this is a convention that the first part of this name should be error and the second part will show the error code. Here we are calling this 404. If we put this name as page not found, then we have to call it with the same name, page not found. And let us again refresh this page, and here you can see the same message. So this is a convention that the second part should represent the error code and the first part should be error. So this is the second way in which we register the error handler page. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe my channel. Thanks.